Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Teams on Air. Today, we're going to be talking about Skype Room Systems and the Surface Hub in executive boardrooms, as well as many other meeting types. But before we get started, I want to make sure that you do a couple of things. To the left of the screen, you'll see that we have the Microsoft Pulse going. Make sure you fill it out because we'd love to learn more about you, like where are you from and what are you doing. And also, this episode is recorded live, so if you have any questions, make sure that you submit your questions below, and we have people in the background answering questions that you have real time. Now, if you're watching us on demand, we do post our episodes on YouTube, so make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and if you like what you've watched, make sure you give us a thumbs up. All right, so today I have a special guest, Angela Donohue. Hey, Angela, welcome to the show.
Hi, Delanda. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here on the show today.
Thanks for joining us. So tell the audience what you do at Microsoft.
Yeah, actually, we're on the same team.
Yeah, she is.
I'm a product marketing manager on Skype for Business, and I primarily focus on meeting room solutions, which is primarily here that we're going to talk about today, Skype Room Systems. So we're really excited to kind of give you some more information on that and also how it's used in different types of settings.
Now, as part of the research for this show, as we were thinking about what's happening with room systems, I found out that 72% of remote workers will be remote by 2020.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I think we've all experienced colleagues and employees that are either working mobile or from different countries. And so we also took a look at those trends and also looked at meeting room specific trends and data points. It turns out 97% of meeting rooms only have a TV and a display and a phone. And so that means most of the meeting rooms actually don't have video enablement. So that means when you're working with those employees that are remote or colleagues that are mobile, that you actually don't see them and they don't see you. And so they're not as much part of the meeting experience as they would if they were live in the room. And so we wanted to do something that solved that situation.
Yeah, I think it really makes a difference when you have someone who's not physically in the room turn on the video so that you can see how engaged they are. You can see, are they laughing at your jokes?
Exactly. Or, very important.
Or if they're tuned out, which either happens.
Absolutely, and it also helps productivity, just that everyone's more engaged that way.
Yeah. So we're going to go over a couple of designs of rooms, but let's start with the room that we're in today, which is an executive boardroom. Tell us how Skype Room Systems supports an executive boardroom.
Yeah, and when I talked to the team that was actually planning the refresh of this room, they had the same pain points that we just mentioned. They have executives that are not located here at headquarters at Microsoft, and they're from all over the world, and they're all from different locations. And so they wanted those executives to also feel like they were first-class citizens in the room, being able to be seen and heard, and also that they could see the people in the room too, and be heard for those people in the room. And also they wanted to be able to make sure you see content that was being shown and not have, so making sure everything's super quality. So the Skype Room Systems is really going to help that effort. They've launched that into this room, and it's been great, a great experience. We've gotten great feedback. We'll show you a little bit more of that later on in the show, but it would shows content that's displayed remotely to the attendees without any extra clicks, or also joining the meeting directly with one touch. No dial-ins, no extra hassle of that.
Yeah, it's really nice to just walk into a room and just press a button and everything just magically turns on, as opposed to, I think there's like this statistics out there that it takes 10 minutes for a meeting to get started.
I think at least.
With all the AV, do you have the right cord and connection?
Exactly.
And with Skype Room Systems, I love the one touch. All right, well, tell us about some of the considerations for the executive boardroom from an equipment perspective. Like, what types of equipment goes into an executive boardroom, and what were we thinking about when we designed this room?
Yeah, one thing I was surprised about was that generally in executive rooms, they actually always have AV technicians on hand during the meeting, so you might not think it's as important to have something that's super simple, but that was one of their top priorities, was to have something that worked, that was really, really easy, really, really simple, even though there's AV technicians on hand. If something went wrong, they just wanted someone to be able to handle it very quickly, and so it was important to have something that was simple, ease of use. That was top of mind, so that's great. When we also look at what else is in the room, just having that high quality video, high quality audio, super important, again, to bring those remote attendees into the room.
Well, video is a really critical component of a room, so tell me some of the specifications that our audience members should look at when designing a room.
Definitely. When choosing a camera, you should be able to look at the pan and the field of view of the camera. So make sure you have the field of view depending on the size of the room that you have. This one, of course, is a pretty large room, so you're going to want a wide range of field of view. And then also make sure that you have it in the right placement. We know that sometimes you don't want to get the angles wrong if you put it above the TV and the TV's too high and you're getting the tops of people's heads, or you're putting it in a weird angle where you're getting backs of people's heads. So those are important considerations.
All right, cool. All right, so that's some really good advice on videos. Now let's talk about specifically how the Skype Room system works. What are some of the features of the Skype Room system?
I'm excited to show you a lot of this stuff today. What we've talked about, of course, is a one-touch join. So that is literally one touch. You get to look at all the meetings that you've already scheduled. They show up on the screen, and then you touch that meeting, and then you instantly bring in all the remote attendees, and you bring up the people in the room. So if those remote attendees are video enabled, you'll see them on one screen. And then if you have content that you've attached, you'll see that content on the other screen if you have dual monitors in the room. If you have only one monitor, you will be able to choose the different layouts to show people or content or both. You can also, like I said, when you attach a PowerPoint, you don't even have to bring your laptop. You can bring the PowerPoint in the room and control it right from the Logitech Smart Dock. So those are a couple different ways you could use it. You can also end the meeting. You can do an ad hoc meeting and just dial directly from the Smart Dock. And so you can use it just as a phone as well.
Yeah, it's really cool. You know, some of the aspects that I enjoy when I'm in a meeting, and sometimes we're presenting content, we actually want to see the person speaking at the same time the content is presented.
Definitely.
So, you know, the layout options are really helps enhance the collaboration that's going physically in the room.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's a quick overview of Skype Room Systems. Now we're going to switch to talking about the Surface Hub. All right. Now we have a second guest, Nydia Cavazos. Nydia, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Delanda, for inviting me. This is my first TeamsOnAir session. I'm excited.
We're super excited to have you. And so tell us what you do here at Microsoft.
I'm a Surface product manager, and my main role is to ensure that Surface meets the needs for teamwork and collaboration.
Now, how does the Surface Hub fit into Microsoft Surface devices portfolio?
We designed Surface Hub to be the first all-in-one collaboration device. It has embedding conferencing capabilities, and it also has Office 365 apps such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, plus the Microsoft Whiteboard. It's everything you need to host a successful conference.
Now, you talked a little bit about the features of the Surface Hub. Go a little bit deeper in some of the benefits and the value of having a Surface Hub.
Well, let's think about the things that happen in a boardroom like this, for example. You always have ideas flowing, so you want to have the capability to easily collaborate on those ideas using your Office 365 apps. And sometimes you'll want to start from scratch, and that's when you start using the Microsoft Whiteboard. Those are some of the features that we could leverage on the Surface Hub.
Now, you talk about Office 365. What are some of the benefits of being an Office 365 subscriber do you get while using the Surface Hub?
So once you sign into Surface Hub, you'll instantly get access to your most recently used files, so you can always just open them right from the welcome screen and start collaborating on them. And everyone that's remote, that's invited to participate on that document, can of course keep collaborating.
Yeah, and does it have access to Microsoft Teams?
Yes, actually, we can leverage most of Microsoft Teams features in the Surface Hub using the Edge browser. So again, using your single sign-on, you can go to teams.microsoft.com and then get access to all your content.
Perfect. Now, we talked about Skype Room Systems, and now we're talking about Surface Hub. What are some of the considerations when we're designing a room for either or?
Well, first of all, let's think that both Skype Room Systems and Surface Hub are complementary devices, right? So depending on the purpose of a room, if it's a hollow room or a room mainly used for video conference purposes, we can think of what solution is the best. For a huddle room, for example, where people is often collaborating side by side and iterating on on ideas, Surface Hub could be the one piece of technology that you need, because it brings you Skype tools, you can have the whiteboard, and you can have Office 365 content. In other scenarios where you have a small room where you are going to fit 3 or 4 people, and you mainly want to be on the phone and looking at the people that's participating remotely, Skype Room Systems can also be a great fit for that room.
This room is a great example of how we use both Skype Room Systems and Surface Hub together. Now let's bring Angela back in the room so we can talk more about both of them.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, so now you're both here, and I'd love to talk about some best practices when designing a room. Can you share a little bit about the considerations you should think about?
Some of the things we have to consider is, first of all, think holistically. We used to think about the IT or the technology piece of the room in isolation from the rest of the components, but now we have to think about how everything plays a role, right? In a room where we're going to have Surface Hub or Skype Room Systems as the main piece of technology, we have to think of, hey, how can we allow users to easily move from their seats and start collaborating side by side on Surface Hub? Most of the times, having an open kind of seating will help do that. Also, if we're thinking of having a table to support the needs of some attendees, let's think about, hey, can we have high tables? Can we have high chairs, right? Anything that fosters easily getting out of your space and start collaborating side by side to make the best use of the devices.
And I think the size of the room is very important. When you're looking at different huddle or open spaces or medium-sized rooms all the way up to the large rooms, it's important to have the right video and audio that works with the size of the room and the number of people that you're going to have. So definitely we would encourage you to take a look at our Skype for Business certified peripherals that work with Skype Room Systems so you get the exact devices that you need that are best for that room.
Yeah, I think the key thing is here, we're right now in an executive boardroom. It's not open to the public, but when you're thinking about spaces that are more open to the rest of your employees and that are public, you know, that you think about the purpose, you think about the design, and then you think about your budget, right? Because
definitely
you might have different constraints or flexibility depending on how large or small your budget is.
One tip that we would also offer is to actually mock up a meeting space before you deploy it. That would help you save some money. So if you can, mock up the whole thing and actually run a full meeting. So actually, you know, create a Skype for Business meeting, have people join in and call in from different parts of the world if you can, and actually run the meeting, see what the video and audio quality are like, so that you can see if you have the placement correct before full-scale deployment.
Yeah, that's a great tip. All right, now let's talk about the momentum. What are some of the success and momentum that we've been seeing with both the Surface Hub and Skype Room Systems? I know you both launched and made some announcements last year on some recent innovations, and what have you seen since then?
Yeah, we've been excited. The Logitech Smart Dock for Skype Room Systems launched last year. We've seen great momentum and positive feedback from many Fortune 500 companies actually trying and deploying this across their companies. One local government agency actually here called King County IT has been using it and has really great feedback. I encourage you to check out this video here where it shows a quick case study of that. And actually another one of the biggest customers of Skype Room Systems is us here at Microsoft. You may have seen it in conference rooms along with Surface Hub and depending on the room, but we've actually deployed thousands across Puget Sound as well, and it's also become a new design standard for meeting rooms going forward. So that's how much kind of we are proud of it, and we are encouraging our employees to adopt these systems as well.
That's really great. What about other partners? Are there other partners that offer the Skype Room Systems?
Definitely. We have announced several partners. One in particular is Crestron that just started shipping. So this one is now actually also available. Crestron has additional capabilities through Crestron Fusion, which is a service that they have that provides further insight and data into your room. So you can kind of get more feedback into how many people are using the room and when it's occupied and unoccupied. It also provides remote access for your IT admin, which this is great, and I think people are really excited about this, so that it can be managed remotely without having to send an IT admin if something goes wrong to the individual rooms.
So this allows them to more quickly respond, right? So
exactly.
If, you know, from a remote place rather than taking the time to travel to the room, which they could be anywhere, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And one more quick thing, if your rooms are already outfitted by Crestron, you can actually control the blinds and the lighting directly from their SRS too. So they have that little bit of differentiation there.
Yeah. Now, we are introducing some new partners to Skype Room System portfolio. Talk about those partners.
Yeah, so we're excited to share that Polycom also just started shipping in December, and we're going to add them to our portfolio. They're actually available now, so check them out. And back at Ignite, we also announced Lenovo and HP, which will both be coming very soon. So you'll hear more about this at Enterprise Connect in March, and we're excited to get our full ecosystem going of partners that all have great aspects to their Skype Room systems.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about that.
Yes.
All right. Now, let's talk about roadmap. We get tons of questions on, now that we've announced Skype for Business and Microsoft Teams coming together, how will this impact Skype Room Systems and the Surface Hub?
Yes, it's a great question. I think we've gotten some questions about that. Both Nydia and I have, and we want to ensure everyone that Teams will be supported on both platforms. Right now, we're looking at Q2 of this year, but we're excited that Teams are working hard to enable those Teams capabilities, but they will absolutely be part of Skype Room Systems enablement and Surface Hub.
Please keep in mind that besides this, today you can still access Teams via your Edge browser on a Surface Hub.
Great. All right. Well, when we announced that we were doing this episode and we wrote a short blog about it, we got a couple of questions. So I'd like to share those questions with you guys and answer them today. The first is, how and where do you buy Skype Room Systems?
Yeah, there's actually a couple ways you can buy Skype Room Systems. One, you can get the full package and everything created and the image done for you through just your distributor or reseller in your local area. The other way is if you already have Surface Pros, because it's Surface Pro based from Crestron and from Logitech, that you can buy the docks and the enclosures separately. So if you already have Surface Pros from your company, you can get those docks separately, and then you can put them together from your IT admin perspective yourself. It does take a little bit more work, so we do have some articles for your resources on how to image the device and get the Skype software on there, but you have those two options available to you.
Okay, great. And then the last question related to Skype Room Systems is, how much does it cost?
Yeah, so this is always a great question. These our systems are starting as low as $2,000 to $3,000. It really depends on, again, on those peripherals, so based on the size of the rooms, what kind of extra video or audio devices that you need, but really scalable and ability for you. It's really affordable, so you can use a lot of your existing displays and then just get those add-ons if you need the video and audio.
Yeah, so if you're looking to standardize smaller types of rooms, it's really cost effective. Exactly. Or you can get more high-end peripheral devices to suit an appropriate room, like an executive boardroom.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Lydia, the last question that I have for you is, what's the best place to put a Surface Hub? Many people ask, like, should I put this in an open space or an executive, or only reserve it for an executive boardroom? Yeah,
Surface Hub is flexible to fit different spaces depending on how your culture of the company is and your rooms are fitted, right? So we can put it in huddle rooms or open areas where people naturally come together to start discussing ideas, and they need a canvas to start working this out, right? And eventually they'll need to call someone in, so they can have the Surface Hub providing all of the services. Then we have Surface Hub in conferencing rooms, and this can be the traditional conferencing rooms or some of the most modern ones with different furniture and configuration. Of course, Surface Hub fits all the needs for a conferencing device. And lastly, we have seen customers using Surface Hub to interact with their own customers, right? Where in locations where their own people come and their own customers come and interact with their employees via the Surface Hub.
Cool. All right, ladies, thanks for joining us today. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but don't forget we're still answering questions below. So if you have a question, submit it, and we'll definitely answer the question. We'll also post a blog where we round up all the questions and make that public so everyone can see what's going on. So with that, we'll definitely join you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Thank you.